And yes, check it out at www.sponsorssecretseminar.com, sponsorsecretseminar.com, or thewealthybaglady.com, thewealthybaglady.com. That's about her sponsorship secret seminar on October 4 to 6, 2012 in Los Angeles, California. This is one way of funding your business because there's 1,001 ways to fund your business.
There's a lot of ways to fund your
Linda?
business. There's no
Yeah.
shortage of money out there.
I
There is
know.
money.
Yeah, there's abundance of money, and that's what Linda here is going to teach us. So, for a little bit, she will discuss exactly how the sponsorship works for all of us. Okay, so how do we really get uh, connected to sponsors? Is it really hard to approach a sponsor?
It's actually easier than most people think. First of all, I want to let you know that your business is not too small for corporate sponsors, because 11 years ago when I first started getting corporate sponsors, it was just me, and I had thought of this great event. And speaking of events, they're getting ready for a big party tonight. So if you hear balloons being blown up in the background,
Yeah.
that's why we're in a celebration mood, and we're going to celebrate here. But I wanted to do an event called the Women's Small Business Expo. So what I did was I wanted somebody to pay for it. So I approached corporations and said, hey, I've got this great event together with women business owners who have money, who spend money on building their businesses. And I got Bank of America, Walmart, and IBM as my first sponsors. So, and it was just me in the business. I had no experience with events. I hadn't done any events before, and I had absolutely no following. So if you're out there thinking, oh, you know, what are sponsors going to want with little old me in my business? Because I get that all the time.
Yeah.
You know, erase those thoughts from your head, because just think of the information that we're going to give you and really be present for the information like a wide-eyed child, because that's what I used to think and what a lot of my clients used to think, and they're now making between $10,000 and $100,000 from each sponsor that they get.
Wow, that's huge. I mean, so if I were to be someone watching this show right now and I say, okay, I want some sponsors, just like me in my show, Lionel Connection Show, I've always been really keen on how can somebody out there come to my show, or probably watch my show and say, hey, I want to sponsor that. I don't think it works that way. I have to be the one to approach the sponsors. The sponsors are not going to come to us. So what is it that the Wealthy Bag Lady, specifically the seminar that you're going to put up, offer to our viewers right here in order for them to learn or get a sponsor for their own businesses?
Okay, well, first of all, we're going to get you sponsor ready. We're going to groom your business for sponsorship at the Sponsor Secret Seminar. Then you're going to actually meet sponsors. We're going to have really great, amazing, leading edge companies there in the room that you can talk to, who can fund your dreams. And then third, you're going to make your action plan to get sponsors. So it's going to be a live intensive. But if you want to get sponsors, here's what you do. You create your sponsor wish list, and you write down companies that you would like to have sponsor you. You would like to have give you money or give you in kind, which is products and benefits and services. And, you know, just kind of start thinking about it and making a list. Remember I said one of my first sponsors was Bank of America?
Yeah.
I just was driving on the street and I saw a Bank of America billboard and I said, hey, I'd like to have them as a sponsor. And it all starts with a thought. It all starts with a vision. So make your list of potential sponsors. Then you have to write your proposal.
That's it.
You have to either write your own sponsor proposal or get a company to do it for you. If you have any questions about how to do the proposal, just go to wealthybaglady.com and we give you directions and tips on how to do your proposal. Then what you do is you submit your proposal, you contact sponsors, and negotiate the deals. And we get renewable sponsorships, meaning the sponsorship is good for one whole year, not per event, per year. And then it renews the next year. They give you the money for the next year. So it is a long-term cash infusion strategy.
So just curious, is there any particular time of the year that you should start soliciting for sponsors? Is there any cut off? Because we know that there's a budget here for all the sponsors, just to give them a little tip.
Good question, and a lot of people ask me this. September and October are very, very good months to get in your proposal by, because in September and October, companies are looking for their next year. So, and companies usually go by the calendar year. So in September and October, they're looking at their budgets for the next upcoming year.
Wow. And just to give them a hint, like if I am new in the sponsorship world, like how do I know? I mean, just by intuition, of course not. How do I know that my project is worth the corporate sponsorship? Is there any particular secret that you want to share us? Just a little bit of it, not all. I know.
I'll share it all.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, one of the secrets is about demographics, which is your target market. So I'll use the same example I used before of what I do, the Women's Small Business Expo. So I researched my demographic. So research your demographic. I know the women business owners is $2.5 trillion market. They have the buying power of $2.5 trillion per year. Women make or influence 85% of the consumer purchases in America. So I researched it, and then I looked for companies that wanted women as consumers. And that is the best way to get sponsors, is to find out what target markets or what demographics companies are looking for, and you match them up, because companies will sponsor you if you know people who buy things. And if you know the right people who buy things, they will sponsor you.
So Linda, you're telling us that, our friends here, that first of all, what is important is finding or identifying their niche.
Yes, absolutely. Finding your niche. Knowing people who buy things and knowing the right people who buy things. And they're paying you to add value to that company by promoting the sponsor. And in promoting the sponsor, you don't have to wear their shirt all the time, and you don't have to wear their t-shirt to bed. You promote them in a very graceful, very elegant way, because sponsors do not want to be obnoxious. You promote them by putting some signage up or putting a hyperlink on your website, but it's not a real obvious, obnoxious promotion of that particular company.
Yeah, so that's a great tip. And you know, that alone is going to be like, I mean, a bulb that kind of give me some ideas today as I listen to her, because I've never been into one of her sponsorship concierge seminars, but learning from her today is really an aha moment for me, knowing that all I have to do is to be able to put up my own sponsorship letter and have to identify my project, and at the same time identify that niche that the sponsors will be interested of. So if I approach Bank of America and they have a funding for promotions for entrepreneurs for small businesses for women, then I will be a very good vehicle for them to have their promotions up, so then I can get a sponsorship. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's very good to hear. And I'm not going to ask her a lot, because what she shared today is really, for me, really something big. So there will be more during the seminar. Let's go back to the idea of people having those dreams. And what separates their success from their dreams?
What separates people who are successful from the people who just absolutely dream of success but never do anything about it is that word action.
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 Yes.
Action.
Can I tell a story about that?
Sure.
Okay. One of my favorite role model entrepreneurs is Estee Lauder. And you know, she started her business in the 30s and the 40s, and she really didn't have any role models as far as female business owners who own global conglomerate makeup companies. So what she did was she started out giving makeovers in the local salons, and then she knew she wanted to go bigger with her company. So she wanted to be in the department stores. So she found out about something called a buying office. And if they liked her cosmetic line, she would be in all the department stores. So basically she came and she waited and they wouldn't even see her at this particular office. And this was a very important meeting. She was there at 9 o'clock, lunch rolled around, they still wouldn't see her. They said, you know, maybe just go and come back another day. And she said, no, I'll stay right here. She didn't have a cell phone. She didn't have a laptop. She was just sitting there like a piece of furniture, probably wanting to cry. But 5 o'clock rolled around, and finally the buyer emerged, and she said, oh my God, are you still here? And they were probably talking amongst themselves, saying, is that crazy woman still sitting there? And she said, I am still here. And she said, okay, let's see what you got. You know, you've been so patient. And that was the key to her success, was taking action, because she was in all the department stores, and she has the best real estate in the department stores. That was her strategy. When you go to the department store, you look right, and she always has that spot. She's bought a lot of the other companies like Clinique, the men's line, the Bobby Brown. So she not only had the vivid vision, but she took action.
Wow. And you know, we all need to have a role model. That's why we do the so-called visualization. And for her to be able to portray to us how the life of Estee Lauder started as a businesswoman herself, wasn't as attractive as anyone would think it to be, but it all started that way. We can all start small, but we don't have to stay small. We all have the bigness in us, and we have to pursue playing big. We really can't proceed, because it just depends on how passionate can you be, how well your actions are taken, the determination, and at the same time, you know, be consistent and focused on what you're doing. Is that right, Linda?
I think it's okay to be small, but it's not okay to stay small.
That's right.
Because going back to Estee Lauder, when she was just going around to the local salons and doing makeovers, she asked one woman, she says, oh, that's a nice blouse, where did you get it? And the woman was so snide. She said to her, she says, well, what difference does it make? You could never afford it. And she said she felt so awful in that one moment, that was the turning point for her. And she says, I will show this woman that I will be able to not only afford that blouse, but buy and sell her eventually.
Wow, and that happened. So, you know, it becomes a motivation. Like, if people treat you small and you stay small, then you will be small. But then, if you were at one point small in your life, and then you turn on that bigness in you, then you will definitely be on your way to your own success. And so success is just actually, there's only a hairline between success and your dreams. So go for it.
To build your list, because in order to get corporate sponsors, they want you to have people that you know. So if you have people on your list, meaning people, not just people who buy from your business, but people who follow you, people who've shown an interest and an affinity in your business. Make a list of those people, because a lot of times people will call my company and I'll say, well, how big is your list? And they won't even have one. And the list is the biggest asset of a business. When you want to sell your business, that's mostly what they're buying, is that list of customers and prospects.
In this era of high technology, that is number one, building your list. And Linda Hollander is also going to teach you how. So these are one of the things that you'll learn from her. Just log into her, browse her website, thewealthybaglady.com, and you will find a lot of resources there. And she's very generous. She's got videos there, and she's got paper, white paper there, and all the wonderful things that you can use as tools to improve your business. And so before we go, I'd like to thank Linda Hollander here. Thanks, Linda.
Thank you so
much. I really
much.
do appreciate you for stopping by after going through the 4 hours or 5 hours of meeting with eWomen Network. And in fact, we still have some of the guests here. And thank you to the Beverly Hills Country Club for allowing us to film this here. Thank you so much, Linda. And parting words for our viewers, so that they will know more about your upcoming event.
Well, I'd like to give a gift to the viewers. If you go to wealthybaglady.com, I'm going to give you two gifts. The first one is a quiz called Are You a Natural Entrepreneur? So this is a really fun quiz, but it's also a very revealing quiz.
Wow.
Because it reveals 15 dimensions of entrepreneurship. So it shows you where you're strong and where you're weak in business as an entrepreneur. For instance, I score high, as you can imagine, since I was an art major, in creativity, but I'm weak in finances. So I need somebody who's good in finances, in organization, in those types of things. So, take the quiz. It's really fun, and it tells you a lot. It's not just nice information. And then the second thing that I'm going to give you there is the top 7 business blunders and how to avoid them. Because when you are operating a small business, a couple of mistakes can close you down completely, can take you out of the game, can make you do a crash and burn, and I have seen it in my 20-year career. Right. So just go to wealthybaglady.com and I'll be happy to give you that information.
Take it from the expert. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much again for being in the show, the Linnell Connection Show, which would like to empower a lot of you out there, converting your passion to wealth, because the possibilities are now endless. Have a safe evening and weekend to you all. Bye-bye. Bye.